I've got the Shine product distributed through my hair, and it's going to be a lot easier to pull with my hook because it's going to be a lot slippier. And this is a cap that I bought at Sally's. It's a Sun Glitz cap. It's the same cap I used when I worked in the salon. And this is where it gets really fun and cute, and I hate this part, but it's an absolute must-have when you're pulling your hair through a cap. You've got to put a cap on. Now, you're going to want to keep it tight, and they're not going to fit your head, conform to everybody's head shape, because everybody's head is obviously shaped differently. But all you're going to do is you're going to pull it as tight as you possibly can without choking yourself, and then just get it real tight. Now look, I wouldn't do this for anybody but you ladies on YouTube, because I love you. This is the part I hate most, because I can't hear either. You'd think they'd give you little ear holes, but they don't. And then I'm going to start pulling my hair randomly through the cap with my hooks. Okay, now I know you're not going to be able to see that great, but hopefully you'll be able to see enough. The hooks that I have are pretty darn small compared to some of the ones that you can buy. You never want to stick the hook directly in your scalp. You just kind of like sewing. You just take a very skimming hook into your hair, and try not to damage your scalp. You're not digging into your scalp. You're simply looking for hair. Once you locate the hair, you start pulling it through, and you need to be careful not to make your holes too big, because that can lead to spotting. Once you get the hang of it, it goes a lot faster and you can go, but you want to stay inside the little squares, and the squares are put there so that you can use them randomly and to space out your highlights. Now you can have, big fat chunks of hair that you want to pull out. Of course, if you make your hole big, you're going to have to pull a lot of hair out so you don't get the spotting. If you mess up and you make your hole too big, it's better to take your cap off and start over again. So all of those things said, you're just going to skim when you take your hook, and skim a little bit of hair and pull a little bit of hair out at a time. Now you want the hook to be up. You don't want it to be under or to the side. You want to make sure, and that's why I've got my glasses on, that the hook is up. And you're just going to find a square and skim into it and pull. If you don't get enough in the first pull, you just go back into the hole and pull again. You just don't want to make the hole too big, and you want to re-enter in the same hole that you made the first time. And then I'm going on to the next one. Okay, now I'm going to just continue this, and I'll come back when I'm through. Okay, I pulled enough. I pulled actually more than I was going to, so that I could show you better. After you pull your hair through, you're gonna have some that you didn't quite get the hair pulled through all the way. So you're just going to take a comb and go over your cap, and you'll get any of those little divots, is what I call them, or hair that didn't quite pull through all the way. And you can see how my hair's it slides through the cap because I've got the shine product on it that made my hair oily. So it's just got a whole lot of slip and slide, and it's just so much easier. And for the small amount of highlights that I'm going to do, I just use 1 cap full of bleach, and I'm going to mix it with 40 volume peroxide. Do not mix up your bleach until you're ready to put it in your hair, because you want it to be fresh. Once color or bleach has peroxide in it, it starts oxidizing, and it only has a certain amount of oomph before it loses it. So you want to mix your bleach up at the last minute, and you have to use a brush. You cannot use mixed bleach in a bottle. It just doesn't work. And when you mix it up, I compare it to pancake batter. You don't want to be it doesn't want it to be as thin as cake batter. You don't want it to be as thick as cookie batter, but you want it the consistency of what I like to compare to pancake batter, because that's in between thick and thin. And you're just going to put a little bit of bleach in the bowl and mix it. And if it's too thick, you add a little more peroxide, and you're just going to keep mixing it until you get a consistency that's thick enough so that it doesn't drip, but not so thick that it has globules in it. And so I'm going to just continue doing that until the mix and the consistency are right for me.